I want to talk about the Kundalini energy and what it really does to the human body and what it allows you to experience. Because essentially, ladies and gentlemen, what the Kundalini does is it basically just allows us to experience reality the way we were designed to experience reality. It shows you the various dimensional levels that are constantly around you. Looks like my battery is uncharged. Damn it. All right, well, we'll go as long as we can and then we'll continue. But the Kundalini energy, ladies and gentlemen, allows you to experience reality the way you were designed to experience reality. It takes your consciousness and unites it with the source, or what many people refer to as God. And this is when you become a demigod, ladies and gentlemen. You are designed to be in complete union with what created you. And there's only one methodology from a physiological perspective that can do this, and that is the Kundalini energy. And this takes place in the cerebral spinal system. It takes place primarily within the brain and the spine, because this is basically like the power strip, metaphorically speaking, that everything else in your body is plugged into. So your nervous system, your central nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system, all of your ganglia, your nerves in your spine, just everything combined is basically the transceiver of sorts that allows us to tune into these dimensions. Now, we have various energy centers that operate within our cerebral spinal system, ladies and gentlemen, and these have been referred to most readily, at least here in the West, as chakras, which means wheel of light. And these are energy vortexes, ladies and gentlemen, that siphon in energy from the various dimensions. They animate our physical body with life as well. They are basically energy conductors, folks. Now, these energy conductors in the average American has been completely almost shut off. Most people are operating on the lowest energetic output of each of the chakras, and we are operating from a very dim perspective, because when the chakras enlighten, ladies and gentlemen, they illuminate us. They activate our light body vehicle, our Merkaba. And this is when an individual attains a halo, also known as a nimbus. This is what the saints of antiquity had achieved. They had reached a state of Christhood, ladies and gentlemen, through the Kundalini energy, and it made them illuminated. What do you actually think that means? It means that you are now with the light. You are walking in the light. You are in the light of God. And you do indeed, in a state of Christ consciousness, which is just another term for Kundalini, you do emanate light from your body, because your light body vehicle, your Merkaba, is now activated. This is not some wishy-washy, hippity-dippity, flip-floppity, whatever the fuck. Excuse my language. I am not coming on here to tell you a bunch of hocus pocus, and I am not telling you, excuse me, something that I haven't directly experienced. I have experienced Kundalini, Christ consciousness, on a handful of occasions in my early 20s. Through my, up to about right before my mid-20s. I had a handful of these experiences that showed me the divine architecture of the human body and mind and consciousness that has been shut off. And it has been my mission in life ever since to pick up the pieces and put the puzzle back together, because we've been scattered, ladies and gentlemen. We've been fragmented. We've had a schism embedded into our unity between our right and left, hemispheres of our brain, the divided parts of ourself. You see, we have a sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, and then we have the central nervous system. We have many divided parts, ladies and gentlemen, that are supposed to be united and operating in tandem with one another. But we've had these schisms put into our consciousness and into our physiological parts that keep us divided from unity consciousness, male and female uniting, Adam and Eve uniting. And we don't see reality the way that we were supposed to experience reality. Now, to someone who's never experienced Kundalini, I may sound crazy, but I don't give a damn, because I know this is the truth. We were not designed to be these little obedient slaves here in the Matrix, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what we've become. We've become an energy source for the architect of this matrix, which from a Gnostic Christian perspective, this architect is known as the demiurge. or a Daldabaoth, the fallen one who poses as God that keeps us complacent and in control. So there is a spiritual aspect to this, ladies and gentlemen. We are being shut down from various different sorts, and I don't care if that sounds crazy. I don't care if people have a problem with me saying that. It's the truth regardless. I am a messenger here to sound the alarm that you were designed to have much more power, to be able to perform miracles, to be able to have an interesting life, and to, the meaning of life is to merge with the divine and to be one with God, and we only do that through Kundalini. The true meaning of life is union. It's not reproduction and all this other shit, although reproduction is important. Reproduction, though. People think that reproduction is the meaning of life. Reproduction at this level, at this point in life, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Matrix, here in hell, that's like a basic human function. Having a baby does not make you some great human. Reproduction is a very survival, fight or flight mechanism. I'm so sick of hearing people in these college campuses and online and people that I just communicate with in general. Oh, we were put here to reproduce. Having sex is not a difficult thing. Anyone can do it. Merging with your creator through Kundalini is the meaning of life. That's what you were put here for, ladies and gentlemen. So many people have given up. It's so disgusting to witness the state of human consciousness right now, to see the gluttony and the laziness and the sloth and the lying, the cheating. There's so much hate here in this world, and it's so sickening. And I get called a fearmonger for bringing it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to wake up. Kundalini is absolutely incredible. What's funny too is, I mentioned the saints earlier, and the saints in pictures, they always had a halo around their head. But if you look at this depiction, it's awfully bright. If you look at this depiction of Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess, she has a sun disk, which is basically the Egyptian equivalent of a halo or a nimbus. What this signifies, ladies and gentlemen, is the solar energy of Kundalini illuminating this particular deified entity or deity. The staff right here represents the mastery of the spinal column, and the throne that she sits atop represents the Coccygeal church, also known as the Cossacks, the pelvic floor. She has become a dominion over her lower self and moved the energy of the Kundalini up her back, the sexual energy, and it has fixed and aligned all the divided parts, and she is now enlightened. There is so much symbolism in this simple statue that it can keep you preoccupied for hours just contemplating it. The sun disk, this is known as a uraeus right here, ladies and gentlemen, this cobra coming out of her forehead. That is symbolism that the Kundalini energy has moved up the cerebral spinal system and nestled and found home in the head, in the brow area, in the pineal and pituitary gland, the king and the queen's chamber. The saints have a halo, which is a little bit different. But this is all of these statues and all of these gods and goddesses are symbolic representations of physiological processes that take place within our biology that align us with God. We see here a depiction of Kali Ma. Now, she doesn't necessarily have a crown, but she's got illumination beaming out of her head. She's got a crown. The crown represents the illumination of the chakras. The crown represents the energy moving up the spine and finally making home in the head of God, the pituitary and the pineal gland, the king and the queen's chamber. She's also got a depiction of an aura. So this may look evil. This represents cutting off the head of the ego and illuminating the chakras, ladies and gentlemen. People look at stuff like this and they go, oh my God, that's so evil. Why is it evil? This is symbolic. It's not evil. She's not murderous. This represents the Kundalini energy, the destructive force of the Kundalini as well. Because the Kundalini is not destructive in a bad way. It destroys the old engrams in our mind. It destroys the old programming in our mind. And it aligns us with the truth, which is a destructive process because you've had layers of bullshit put into your mind, into your subconscious mind especially. And when the Kundalini comes around, it dissolves all of that shit like a natural biological antivirus system. Destruction. Each time a thing is made, another thing is destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a depiction here of Kali Ma. Very interesting. Very, very interesting goddess. She's often called upon to protect people from evil. The Kundalini, what it does, ladies and gentlemen, is that once it actually illuminates the brain, you attain a halo and you can actually see it. It's like a zodiac disc that circles around your head. But it enlightens the electromagnetics of the human biology, and you can now actually see the ripples of energy coming off your hands and your body. You can see the gyrating spheres of energy that actually... See, right now when you look at my hand, you just see a hand moving. There is a non-visible, at least at this point we can't see it, sphere right here in the hand and right above my hand. And when you move your hand, they both counter rotate. This is and they're fixed in position. Now this may sound crazy, but we have a non-physical exoskeleton of sorts that holds our physical body together. It holds our protoplasm together. It keeps everything bound. Now, we have all of these amazing things on the surface of our body, on the outside of our body. We have an aura. All of these things cannot be seen anymore. I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported. And if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health-related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.